let's try something new, which is not that new on the YouTube universe, but is new to me, which is a monthly favorites video. I thought this might be something fun to do, just to share with you things that I have liked lately, enjoyed lately, and that I just wanted to share with you. Lots of people only do physical things, like materialistic things, and there'll certainly be some of that in here as well, but I also wanted to do something a little bit different, which is kind of have a moment of, I don't know, recognition, a little bit of gratitude, and just share things that I'm proud of or trying, like personally. So I thought it would be fun, and also I want to share, I might do it every time, but let's see. I want to share like a new YouTube channel I've discovered or someone on Instagram I've started following so that you guys can maybe follow them too if you're interested in it and just spread the joy and the happiness. So that's my aim for this, and I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with the physical, the things, the actual things. It's all things, but I digress. If you have seen me on Instagram or you follow me there, you know by now that I am a complete tea-obsessed freak. Like, everyone knows it. I love tea. It's completely ridiculous. I have at least one a day, sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes four. Don't tell, though. One I have been loving this season, or actually two, is they're both from this company called Tealeaves, and they really focus on quality blends. Like, I've had a lot of tea in my day, okay? And I have yet to have a Tealeaves tea that I haven't enjoyed. But this one in particular is my like absolute favorite. I would drink it, and I do pretty much drink it every day. It's Nutcracker. It's like a hazelnutty black tea, super good, high caffeine. I just love this thing, and even though it is like Nutcracker and kind of Christmas themed, I guess, it's sold all year round, thank God, because I think I would fall apart without it. Secondly is this Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, which is also Christmas themed, which makes sense why I have it now in January, but it's also sold all year round, thank goodness. I just really, really like this one. It's an herbal. It's like a creamy, almost vanilla. It kind of reminds me of chai, but not all the way, just kind of like a hint of it, a little bit of like a strawberry flavor situation going on in there, and I've just loved them, so I wanted to share that with you. Tealeaves is such a good company, easy to remember. Tealeaves. They're really fantastic, and I've actually been emailing with them, and I might get a discount code for the month of February, so I don't know. If I get it, and I hope I do, then I will post it in the comments, and maybe if you want to try it, it'll be like a little cheaper. So yeah, super good tea. I love it. It being winter and the last physical objects, and this might sound lame to some people, but I don't care. I'm doing it. Is working hands. I freaking love this stuff. It is so good for winter, and when your hands are just like gross and you cannot get them to behave themselves, you know what I'm saying? So I really like this. It's kind of waxy, and my husband and I both tend to put it on before bed because, like, you know, your knuckles just get, it's a whole situation. Don't act like you're not a human being and you don't know what I'm talking about. So we use that for winter, and it's kind of like waxy instead of greasy, so it is a different feel, but it really does help. I've also really been enjoying getting back into the Wim Hof method, which you might remember me talking about last year because I started it near the end of the summer. It's basically a breathing technique and a cold exposure technique that has all sorts of benefits. And once we went to Italy, I had been doing so well. I was doing it 5 days a week, and it was awesome, and I loved it. And once we went to Italy, I kind of fell off the wagon because, you know, when you travel, that just happens with a lot of your routines. So I'm finally back at it. I've been doing the Wim Hof app, which helps me record it. This is free. There's a paid version, but I use the free version, though I have considered the paid, to be honest, but I just don't think I'm there yet. So that's been really fun to get back into, and oddly enough, next month, I'll be interviewing the author of the book who first got me hooked on this and kind of did like an exploration into it. So that'll be fun too, and I am excited for that. It'll be really cool to tell you more about it then. Feel free to like Google Wim Hof, and that'll give you an idea of how like crazy it seems, but also the amazing things that people are capable of doing with it. So yeah, if you're interested in that and like what your body is capable of, check that out. The last like thing I want to mention is a podcast that I love, which is Mysterious Universe. I've been listening to them for years, and it's definitely not for everybody. It's kind of like a weird news podcast. I just love the guys who run it. They are so hilarious. They will give all these outlandish stories a fair shot, but then if it's ridiculous, they tear it to pieces, and I just love it. so much. I just signed up for their yearly Plus membership, and I've been on Plus for years, and this is the first time I just decided to like lump Summit, because who am I kidding? I'm clearly there for life. It's like everything ridiculous, like aliens, Bigfoot, just crazy stories. Like, it's more than that, but that's like the easiest way to explain it to people who don't know what I'm talking about. Just like weird news, supernatural stuff. It's just fun. It's just fun. Now let's talk about a YouTube channel I like and an Instagram channel I like that I both recently just discovered, both of them. The first one is YouTube. It's Jason's Weird Reads. He does horror, and I just like his energy and his vibe. He's very like nice and relaxing to watch. I like his thoughts on the books and how he explains them. So if you like horror, definitely check out Jason's channel. I think you might really like it. And on Instagram, I just started following this girl, and her tag is Married and a House. It's the same thing. I guess I'm just drawn to like her energy and her vibe, and she talks about like living simply in this little house that they just got that needed a lot of renovation work, and it's really fun to watch them bring that house back to life. And you know, they're expecting a kid, and it's just fun to like watch their little life unfold, and they're not too showy, or they just feel real to me. So I really enjoyed that one. It's Married and a House. Before we wrap this up, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about monthly favorites in terms of things that have happened lately or things I've been working on that I feel good about. Because I don't know, this monthly favorites thing is such a cool idea, and it's almost like a public diary entry in a way to you guys. And I thought it would be interesting to share more than just material things, which is fun too. But yeah, so let's do that. Yeah. The biggest change that my husband and I have had in our lives lately is adopting Bogey, our Doberman pinscher, who is so beautiful and just, we think, the goodest boy. That has been such an adventure and a development in itself, which we knew it would be, and we were totally ready for. And the process of getting him, we were so dedicated to it. Like, I wanted it bad. When you really go after something so much and it happens, and then, you know, he's here, and it's just a really wonderful thing. And part of the appeal for me of getting an older dog was, he's 7, was to have that experience of making him the best that he could be. Like taking a dog that, you know, somebody said wasn't good enough, and kind of proving that he is good enough. He's more than good enough. And training him, working with him is such a good experience for me, being out. Like, he's a big working dog, you know, he's got to be out in the world, and it makes me feel more part of the world. Like, every morning when you get up and you take him out, and you just notice the weather more. If it's cold, it's in your face, you kind of feel like nice. There was a moment when it snowed, and it would have melted by the end of the day, but I was out with him at like 6 a.m. or something, and it was magical. It was like I just looked up after we had walked down the stairs, and there was snow everywhere, and there I am doing something I wouldn't have been doing a month ago. So it's just really cool. I'm still deciding if I want to make a video on him, so if you want to see that, let me know. It would be interesting to talk about, because I think I've learned a lot. And I'm always going to learn a lot. I think that's another beautiful thing about it, is that you're constantly evolving and you're growing together. It's just a really cool thing. Another thing I've been doing lately family-wise is my husband and I have been waking up almost at the same time. He wakes up at 4:30 and I wake up at 5. And I've been doing this since we got back from Italy, just kind of on a whim. I have been making a nice breakfast every morning, and we eat that nice breakfast together. And it is such a nice, just a small, like 15 minutes of time that feels so valuable. And I really enjoyed the process of it. It's not a guarantee. It's not forever, you know, it's just sort of like a gift that I'm doing for the both of us. And I really enjoyed doing that. Taking the extra time and making the extra effort is so often worth it. And this is one of those times. So I really liked those moments. Most recently, we have been doing something called what we call superstructure, which we say half jokingly, which is basically this thing we're trying where we're doing a week where we're planning out literally everything. Everything is super structured. And the reason we are doing that is because we kind of felt out of balance in a weird way. I often feel like we're competing with so many different responsibilities and just like pressures. and also the technology on top of all of that. And it's hard, I think, in the modern day to find balance. So we sat down together, made lists separately, sat down together, and then planned out an entire week and like what the rules were for when we could have technology and when we couldn't, when we were together, when we were apart. And that will be an interesting experience in itself, but it's not over yet. But I just wanted to say I am glad to be doing it, because if you never challenge yourself, if you never challenge how you're living, you never really move forward as well as you could. And when you recognize something could be better, then why not make it better? See what happens. So we're experimenting with that right now, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and be grateful that we are, always willing to do these crazy experiments just to see if life can always be increasing or get better, So that's really it for my monthly favorites video. I guess it's a little different than what most people do, but I still hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to have your feedback on it. And most importantly, I would love to know your monthly favorite. If there was a thing, if it was a moment in time, if it was a YouTube channel, an Instagram thing, something that inspired you, a quote, a book you read, anything that you really enjoyed lately. I'd love, love, love to hear about it. If you liked this video, give it a quick thumbs up, drop a comment below, and if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, press that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.